leaders are coming together to fight it in every sector.
Yeah, for the second year in the form of a conference, New Detroit is working for racial equity and justice. Joining us live, Brandon and I are very happy to have the Community Engagement Director, Marshall Favors. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, as you were saying, as we were saying during break, I mean, New Detroit has been around for a very long time. For folks who may not know, can you just give us a little brief explanation about this organization and the legacy of it, and then let's get into what we've been doing the past 2 years.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, New Detroit was started after the 1967 riots, civil unrest, and so we have a broad section of civic and business leaders that come together to fight racism.
I love that.
So you started this conference 2 years ago. What does it mean to, because I think stopping systemic racism in our community, it really, I hate to sound cliche, but it takes a village.
Absolutely.
But when you have, both your activists working alongside your business leaders to make sure that not only are we, cleaning up racism in our neighborhoods, but we're also giving people opportunities who would not normally get opportunities. What does that mean when you have that kind of harmony there?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. Absolutely. And even though it's a broad topic and something that needs to be addressed, really understand that this conference is the region's only conference that's solely focused on racial equity. So even though you have opportunities to talk about it, when do you get a chance to come together with such a broad section of leaders and civic leaders? And actually, we want everyone a part of this conversation. So we really open the door because it takes a village. It takes people from all different backgrounds to address racial equity.
I don't want to say that these positions nor these titles didn't exist prior to George Floyd, certainly that they did. Do I think that these titles of VP of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion here, roundtable discussions on diversity, equity, and inclusion over there, were they happening? Perhaps. Were they happening to the scale that they needed to? I'm going to argue no. But I think it's one thing to have these roles and to have these discussions, and it's another thing to take those discussions and roles and implement them in a way that is metabolized in a community. Marshall, can you talk a little bit about the discussion at the conference so that that communication turns into action?
Oh, absolutely. It starts with the conversation, and sometimes we have to take a step back and also learn about racial equity and history and understanding. And we have Nicole Hannah-Jones, who is a best-selling author who's helping us to lead that conversation. So she's going to be in the room, and we also have Rochelle Riley, who's going to moderate that discussion. But we really want to go beyond discussion, but it has to start somewhere. It starts with the dialogue, but we really want to collectively come together to talk about what's actionable, what can we really do to advance racial equity.
What can we do? Let's talk about that. I want to know. Like, I mean, I think we are doing it, but, and sorry to cut you off, but I think my thing is we have to get real with the truth that there are some people who do not think systemic racism is still in existence. Like, we need to call it what it is. There are people who do not believe that. To what do you say?
I say, first of all, it's about education. You have to really know the numbers, know some of what some of the issues are. So if you can, if you're abreast on racial equity as it relates to disparity, there's disparity when it comes to income, when it comes to education. And so we have to uplift those things first. We have to educate people first, then have the dialogue, then move to how do we address these issues collectively.
In such a diverse area like Metro Detroit, what do you see as far as changes that need to happen to fight systemic racism locally?
I believe that, first of all, you have to bring together folks who are knowledgeable about these issues, and then collectively talk about issues that are related to racial equity.
I mean, I agree. We can't do anything unless we agree to be in a room together and hear each other's voices. Can you tell us when is it, where is it, and how can people learn a little bit more?
Absolutely. It takes place August 19th and the 20th, and it's at the Detroit Marriott. Tickets are available at newdetroit.org. Our first day is more of our thought leadership, bringing together civic leaders as well as business leaders, but we also want everyone to be involved. Anyone that wants to eradicate racism, anyone who wants to advance racial equity should be a part of the conference. And then our day 2 is more of our workshops. We're going to be addressing diversity, equity, inclusion. We're also going to have a tour by Jamon Jordan, who is with the city's
I just
historic.
had the pleasure of hearing him down at the park, and wow, to have a historian, pretty cool.
Absolutely, and it's also a celebratory time because we are going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Oh,
and
nice.
we're going to round it all off with a taste of Black spirits.
Hey, let's do it. So October 19th and the 20th at the Detroit Marriott?
Yes.
Yes? All right, New Detroit. Keep up this great work. We need it.